Alrighty guys, we're back for some Izzet Burn. And this is a Lost Caverns of Ixalan Standard Brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked Rockin' Ojer Pakpatiq, deepest Epoch in this one. 4 mana, 4/3 legendary creature, God, with flying, and whenever you cast an instant spell from your hand, it gains rebound. Nice. Well, what the heck is rebound? If you cast a spell with rebound from your hand, exile it as it resolves at the beginning of your next upkeep. You may cast that card from exile without paying its mana cost. Oh my. That's going to work really well with our instant speed adventures that we have packed in here, like Virtue of Courage and whatnot. So we have all 4 of these. The burn side of things in this deck is going to be the main win condition, although we do have some cool creatures to attack in with as well, like Frolicking Familiar too, also has that instant speed adventure side. It poke 1 damage to any target, not bad. So what happens is, of course, when you use the instant speed adventure side of this while the Ojer Pakpatiq is on the board, then next turn with that rebound, it gives you the option to cast either side for free. So in that sense, like especially with the Virtue of Courage, you're going to want to cast that enchantment side for free. So it's a 5-mana enchantment. Whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, you may exile that many cards from the top of your library. You may play those cards this turn. So that could be absolutely insane, dude. So you're already poking the opponent's face with some fire, and then you just rip more fire off the top. So you can see how the burn is going to be the main win condition then. The adventure side also, it's just 2 damage to any target, which isn't half bad. It really isn't. So we can even treat this as like early removal too. So got even more early removal that of course works well with the Ojer Pakpatiq. This is Horned Loch-Whale. 6 mana, 6/6, flash ward 2, enters the battlefield tapped unless it's your turn. So if you do flash this out on your opponent's turn, unfortunately it does flash down tapped, so it can't be like a surprise blocker. That's probably a good thing because Horned Loch-Whale is pretty stacked outside of that, of course. Has that Lagoon Breach side of things. So for 1 and a blue instant speed adventure, the owner of target attacking creature you don't control puts it on the top or bottom of the library, so more early removal. And if you actually have the Ojer Pakpatiq out there while you activate the Horned Loch-Whale, and then you just get that free whale next turn, all your mana's open, you get to do everything else you want to do for that turn. Oh, buddy, that just seems a little bit silly, doesn't it? Might as well finish going over the top end here. We got Imodane the Pyrohammer, 4 mana, 4/4, legendary creature, human knight, and whatever an instant or sorcery spell you control that targets only a single creature deals damage to that creature. Imodane deals that much damage to each opponent. Beautiful, man. Maybe a little bit of a janky pick. It does die to a lot, but honestly, what doesn't die to a lot anyways? You know what I mean? Yeah, there might be some cooler 4-drop picks, but it's been a while since I tried out Imodane, and we do have some cards in here that only targets creatures too, so like Rending Flame, for example, actually. So this is a 3 mana instant speed, deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If that permanent is a spirit, it also deals 2 damage to that permanent's controller. And I'll tell you what, we do see a decent amount of spirits in Selesnya enchantments, which I've actually been seeing a lot of Selesnya enchantments recently. So yeah, I think Rending Flame will do that extra 2 damage every now and then, and extra 2 damage against Selesnya enchantments. That could be important, man, because boy, oh boy, do they ever have a lot of life gain with all those lifelink creatures. Outside of that, you don't like the Rending Flame pick, we do have some stuff over here in the honorable mentions to consider, like Rebel Salvo. Like this could have that permanent lose indestructible, but I see more spirits than I do indestructible creatures. What about you guys? Let me know. Am I like not thinking of a creature here that we really don't want to have indestructible? Because I can't think of anything. Yeah, I think we see more spirits overall. Something to think about though. Also like Witchstalker Frenzy, we're not attacking too often in this one, and this one also only targets creatures. So Rending Flame also hits planeswalkers, which of course is very important when we're seeing a lot of planeswalkers like Wandering Emperor. Brutal cards still. So yeah, no Witchstalker Frenzy this time around either. More of our 3-drops, some of our card draw, quick study, all 4 of them. I don't get to play with too much blue, so you guys will have to let me know, did I pick the best card draw for this deck? Just like simple, man. 3 mana, instant speed, draw 2 cards. Yeah. And then if you have like that Ojer Pakpatiq out there and you get that rebound next turn, keeping your hand nice and stocked up, right? Also, quick study, like it could be simply paired with like Galvanic Iteration at some point. We got one of these in here. 2 mana instant speed, has that flashback for 1 a blue and a red. When you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, you copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. So again, with burn being our main win condition, it could be as simple as just like 4 mana copy a lightning strike. 4 mana total, 6 damage to the opponent's face or whatever, and then maybe get some rebound on that Pakpatiq, which could be absolutely disgusting in general. So, or yeah, like 5 mana, draw 4 cards with a quick study or whatever. I actually like the 1 of iteration. I think it'll do a thing. Got more stuff that just hits creatures, Abrade, 3 damage to creature, or just like destroy target artifact. You'll find a good target for that artifact destruction. At some point, there's going to be an artifact, and you're like, hey, Abrade, perfect. Then also, if you're just doing that 3 damage, then maybe you have that Imodane on the board too. Remove their creature, 3 damage to their face. That could be absolutely disgusting, man. So the rest of the burn in the build, I talked about the lightning strikes. Yep, all 4 of them gonna really come in handy, of course. So we got all 4 play with fire, same thing. The scry goes a long way too. And check out this lonely little counter spell. We have a single Spell Pierce. I don't think it's going to miss very often when you see this. I really don't. Counter target non-creature spell unless his controller pays 2. I can't think of a lot of builds where that doesn't hit at least something at some point, you know? I think a big thing there too is just trying to stop certain mid-range decks from getting too much value. Again, like Wandering Emperor is just such a pain in the butt. And so when they get that on turn 4 and you drop a Spell Pierce, that's a pretty satisfying play, if I do say so myself, you know? Okay, in the mana base of Stormcarved Coast, we got those all 4 Restless Spires. We have the Reefs, of course, Crucible, Soaring City, a little bit leaning towards red because the deck is a little bit leaning towards red. Got more honorable mentions over here too. I do think the dual land is going to be important in this one. So if you don't have some of these rare dual land, I do think it's totally fine to have the budget options in here as well. Even though they come out tapped, I don't think they'll slow you down too often in this build in particular. And I do think the dual land are going to be important in here. Okay, we got a whole bunch of burn spells that almost made the cut, but they just didn't. So like Torch the Tower, the Exile could go a long way. Fires of Victory is a really cool one, but sometimes I think we're going to have trouble actually keeping cards in hand, so we'll see. Scalding Viper I wanted to bring up. The adventure side is sorcery speed, unfortunately, so not working with the Pakpatiq. Got Volcanic Spite to think about too, calling a professional. It depends. Maybe like as a 1 of, you never know with those life gain builds. Like a coin could be really cool to give rebound to because of the treasure and the card draw and all that fun stuff. And then Stoke the Flames. I don't think we have enough creatures in here, but like 4 damage does go a long way. So something to consider, I suppose. All right, guys, let's go ahead, take it into some ranked and see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting? It's probably going to be pretty janky, right? Right, guys? I don't know. You never know sometimes. Sometimes burn really does a thing, especially since all of our main win conditions with the burn is also just removal, and removal is pretty important too, so... Okay, I don't mind this hand. Yeah, this is fine. Like, none of our creatures, but I gotta get out of that mind set. We don't have too many creatures in here. Totally fine. We got, like, the scry and whatnot on the play with fire. Instead of playing the reef and taking extra damage with the play with fire, I'm just gonna get that crucible down. Rending Flame. Okay. I'm going to keep it just in case this is mono blue, and I suppose you never know if we got to take care of a chunky creature in mono blue, you know? Get the island down in case we want to Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce and Play with Fire open. We might as well go for the Play with Fire. Get that extra scry. Yeah, when we're not removing, you want to go face anyways in this style. Hey! I Spell Pierce your Spell Pierce. Is that worth it? No, it's not. No, because like there's a lot better hits. There's a lot better hits for our Spell Pierce in mono blue. All right, passing it back. There's the third. We'll attempt the quick study. Hopefully it's not Spell Pierce number 2. Actually, if we would have went Lightning Strike, nah. Oh, wow. We got the card draw. Horned Loch-Whale, that is actually pretty good against mono blue too, right? Anything that deals with their chunky creatures at some point. Okay. Okay. Not bad. The, like the 4 mana's good. Everything seems fine here so far. At what point is the counter worth it? Impulse is good. I don't think the Spell Pierce is worth it yet, right? I don't think so. We just want to make sure they don't, like, we want to make sure we do the Spell Pierce before they have the 2 to actually pay it around it anyways. All right. Like I said, if you're not using it as removal, going face, it is our main win condition to go ahead and go for this burn. Yeah, see, now they have the 2 open for the Spell Pierce. I suppose we just go the second Lightning Strike? I don't really know. I suppose so. I don't think holding it here. The second negate too. Okay, well. Ooh, 5th mana. Not terrible, dude. Yeah, you know, in mono blue, they have that 5 mana card where they draw. That would be a terrific counter. Oh, buddy. Holy cow. Yeah, Terror's Ward is really good, man. Because now if we pay our 5 and they counter the Rending Flame, we don't have the 1 open for the Spell Pierce. So I'd rather just wait, and then when they swing, we'll go like Horned Loch-Whale or whatever. Ojer, hey. Hi. I mean, there's no way it lands, right? We'll have 1 open. I guess the Spell Pierce. Yeah, I guess we could get this down. The double blue from the islands. Oh, wow. It's on the board, guys. So Fading Hope, I suppose. Would that be worth the Spell Pierce? Just to keep this? You just like play the second Spell Pierce, or they could play, yeah, anything. They could be a second Spell Pierce or a second Fading Hope. Yeah, what the heck? I'll go for this Spell Pierce. I suppose. I really, really hope that they don't end up playing that card that restocks their hand next turn. But like keeping a creature on the board is really good, especially when the creature has this insane ability. Haha, dude, we're in trouble, bro. Holy cow. Rending Flame's gonna take care of 1 of them. Spell Pierce obviously not doing anything there. Horned Loch-Whale number 2. See, like the ward? The ward is a problem, dude. Oh, buddy, the ward is a problem. If we go Rending Flame while they're tapped out, we pay the 2, and then next turn we'll get Rending Flame for free. We're going to be taking the 10. We want to do it while they have no cards in hand, right? As opposed to the Horned Loch-Whale. But free whales after they swing. All right. What the heck, man? We'll risk their draw. Let's do this. Free whale is the goal. We'll risk their draw. If it's a counterspell, it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. Here we go. Lagoon Breach. I am sure, and I will pay that too. Rebound. Get the 2. Uh-oh, guys. Okay, it went on top. It wasn't a counterspell. I wonder what's in their hand. Down to 4. Check this out, man. Oh, buddy. Free 6/6. Actually, just play. We got our 6th mana. We could just play the other one outright. Probably Rending Flame, though, right? Make sure we take care of everything properly. Instead of, like, banking on... Instead of banking on blocks, because I don't think we want to bank on blocks. They dropped the Nice, and we do have to keep this back in case they find a Fading Hope. Because then they need to double down on that. They redraw the Terror. Wait, did they redraw the Terror last turn? No, that was this turn, right? Yeah. Rending Flame for free. Terror. Okay, yep, we're gonna pay the ward. Haha, that's sick, dude. Holy cow. Woo, quick study. We're gonna keep all this open. Because now... Yeah, at what point do I want to start swinging, guys? Because if they find... I guess I'll start swinging. It feels pretty risky to swing in, but yeah, no Fading Hope that turn. I think we're okay. There's another Terror. Is that all four? That's all 4 Terrors, man. That's something else, dude. Although not being able to swing into that 6/6 is pretty rough. Quick study, get that rebound. Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah, that's good. That's really good. Rending Flame. Frolicking Familiar, huh? Okay, well, where do I even start? We force a block on the ground if we do that. I guess we just keep it all open. We'll go for that swing, right? And see what happens. And then just keep everything open, including the Soaring City. Because it could be as simple as a Lightning Strike cleaning this up next turn. Although every time we let mono blue... Every time we let mono blue draw, it's super sketchy. Horned Loch-Whale over Rending Flame, right? Rebound. Go for the counter. Rending Flame still have 2 open. Right? Second counterspell will actually do this for them because of this ward, man. Scary business. They drop the GGs. It lands. We got the block. We're in this. Some risky plays. Risky plays. It all worked out in our favor, but... Rending Flame. Oops. Cancel. Yeah, good game, opponent. Good game. I was trying to play it out as fast as possible there. The ranks recently reset. Just chilling in silver casually. That's pretty funny, actually. You know what? That felt decent. There was probably a lot safer plays. You guys know me, though. I like my risky plays. I wonder. Yeah, I bet we can get to gold in this video. Let's do it, man. That's our new goal. Get back up to gold since the ranks reset. And then, of course, eventually back up to the bottom of platinum where I like to chill. Opponent goes first. What are we thinking here? Don't mind this. It's like mono blue, like at least the one pokes things like Phoenix Check. Draw, of course, like Horned Loch-Whale we have to treat as early removal too. I don't mind this. Slow land for a couple turns, but it'd be okay. Ojer Pakpatiq, what a MVP in that last game, huh? Yada. Be a problem. Probably want to stick to... Yeah, this is a problem, isn't it? I'm gonna make sure we get that mountain down so that way we have the Horned Loch-Whale available if we want to send that back, because with Giada it has like that vigilance. They go right into the Resplendent Angel here. Horned Loch-Whale, they just end up drawing the Giada back anyways. So I suppose it is what it is. We just take the 2 for the turn, right? Because we gotta get rid of some of this other nonsense first. I will spend the mana while I have it, though, on the Frolicking Familiar. Virtue of Courage. Cool. So now for next turn, so we have Restless Spire. We keep Horned Loch-Whale open. Send the Resplendent Angel to the top or bottom. Probably just right to the top. No, it's just going to be Virtue of Courage on Giada for the turn, isn't it? And they have blue in here, so it's going to be on our turn, too. Yeah, let's not do as many risky plays this time round, right? Because we have Ojer Pakpatiq in hand. We could try to set up something and do some fancy stuff with these adventures, or we could just be like, Giada's a problem. Take care of it now before, like, if we pass it back, they could easily have a counter spell in hand or something too. So a little bit of lifelink, yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Okay, we have enough mana for a little while. That's good news. But like, we don't have terrific blocks here at all. Steel Seraph is a great target for our Abrade if we see it. In general, since it's a 3/3, but still. If like it got a buff from Giada, then like that Abrade would be perfect. Alright, we attempt our creature. Spend all 4 of the mana, get the creature down, and see what we can set up here. Maybe get that Horned Loch-Whale rolling too. Ossification, immediate removal. So we're on a clock now, this turn and next turn. Oh, we're on a big clock. How do we get around that? They swing for 7. They'll still have 6 on the board after we send the Resplendent Angel back with the Horned Loch-Whale. Virtue. Virtue doesn't hit anything over there. Like a Lightning Strike could. Better get our 5th mana down just in case we see our 6th off the top, because you never know when we want to do a lot more on the same turn. But outside of that, we're not going to go Virtue. We could go Frolicking Familiar, get a chump blocker. More than a chump blocker, actually, because once we have Horned Loch-Whale, it'll be a 3/3, and then we get to trade in with that. So if they don't have removal for the Familiar, this could be an excellent trade for us. And an excellent way to sustain ourselves for the turn. Okay, more mana from them. So we go Horned Loch-Whale. I am concerned with what's in their hand. The Frolicking Familiar becomes a 3/3, and we probably block. What do we block? Resplendent Angel? Steel Seraph? They both seem great to take out here, don't they? I think Resplendent Angel? Because they have enough mana. Oh, they have enough mana. They have the 6, guys. I guess it's Steel Seraph then. That's not sorcery speed or anything. Until end of turn, Resplendent Angel gets +2/+2 and gains lifelink. So they get a 4/4 here. Yeah, I'd rather trade out the Steel Seraph. But, yeah, either way they were getting the 4/4. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, GG Angels, huh? Great setup. Really good. There's no way around this, right? The other Virtue doesn't hit these great. Just play a Virtue of Courage and let them swing on in. Hey, good game of opponent. Yeah, I wish I was fast enough to drop the GGs down here for the last opponent too. I love that they saw all their terrors in that last game as well. Looks like they put that Resplendent Angel on top, maybe. If they put it on top or bottom, does it usually show you over there? Like, if they put it on top, is it like a face-up card over their deck? I'll have to try to pay a bit more attention to that. 24 minutes in, we could still totally get to gold in this video. Let's do this. We need, what, 3 wins in a row? Ah, yeah, we got this. We got this. The best way to do it is with jank anyways, so. All right, opponent. Why don't you bring it to the table, buddy? Yeah, if not this video, I suppose getting to gold in the next one is fine, too. Woo! That's a lot of burn, man. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Like, Rending Flame would have been good in that last game, probably, right? Being able to hit the bigger creature. Actually, we were just having an issue where everything we were doing was just 2 damage. Because we saw, like, 3 of our Virtues, for example. we didn't have a lot of turns where we could sit back and actually just, I'm gonna go face here, guys. Ojer, hey, I'll draw that. We don't have enough mana yet, but I like getting that in hand. Excuse me. Yeah, Virtue of Courage open now, but maybe we just like double down on Play with Fires. Go for the swing. Do you want to spend? You want to spend some mana on that, little buddy? I'll gladly take the 1 instead. I'd say it's worth it. Ah, they're not gonna. Okay. I will stay. Play with Fire. Totally fine. They can't get it to a 3/3 this turn, so Sleeper's out of the equation. They're passing it? Alright, I'll get the scratch. This is silly, bro. This is silly. Horned Loch-Whale? Crap. Alright, I'll send it. I'm looking for mana now. Although Horned Loch-Whale, of course, could be really good. Here we go. Not bad. Need a blue source for the Ojer, Pakpatiq when it comes time, and then hope that they don't have Go for the Throat, which is open for a lot if I'm being real with you guys. If we're up against some classic mono black, then we could have a problem here. Flesh Gorger. Is Sheoldred next turn? That's the question. Alright, just keep poking the opponent's face. We're probably in trouble. Ooh! Ojer comes down, and guess what? If they kill it, comes out as a land, Virtue comes down. Could be really good. Virtue doesn't work well with Rending Flames, though, so we might need to see a little bit more. Go for the throat. Womp womp. The Temple of Cyclical Time. Ooh, Horned Loch-Whale. Wow. Wow. We just get, like, Virtue down for the turn while we can. No matter what, I want to make sure I tap this. Keeping Rending Flame open and everything. Keeping both of these open is probably the best bet. I like Horned Loch-Whale on the Flesh Gorger's pretty bad, though. You know what? We're not dead next turn. Let's get the Virtue of Courage down. If this was Golgari, then I'd fear like a Tear Asunder, but it's not. It looks like mono black, so. Yikes. Oh man, they're gonna start drawing off of that? Oh, buddy. They got their 5th. Crucible. We could play our Horned Loch-Whale, but the Menace gets around that nicely. Gix needs removed regardless. I'm going to play Crucible as a 6th mana because I do think so far the deck has been pretty mana hungry. And then we're just going to keep both of these open and see what happens. Right? Because Rending Flame, we still want to hit Sheoldred with that. And the Horned Loch-Whale hitting the Gix is probably okay. Eventually, Temple's going to flip too. Virtue not... Like, if we get a little bit of burn off the top, maybe if I was patient with my Play with Fires earlier. Because they gained all that life back anyways, right? All these, what, 2 Flesh Gorger swings? Alright. First of all, of course I wanna use you as my blue source. First of all, right? And I suppose killing off the Flesh Gorger is better. 5 mana open. Mirax. Like, when's that Sheoldred hitting? You know what I mean? They put it on top. Okay. Yeah, guys, unfortunately, we should do this. Take the 3 down to 9. Right? I think so, mainly because, like, the Menace and everything, too. That's tough. That's tough, man. Virtue of Courage just chilling right now. Let's see that Sheoldred play. Oh, Flesh Gorger number 2. Hey, Spell Pierce. That actually... So when we transform this, if we tap it down for that turn, Ojer Pakpatiq will be tapped too, right? It's activate only as a sorcery as well. I'm just going to play the Horned Loch-Whale. And like I said, there's a huge problem with this Menace slipping by. The second Flesh Gorger was really good for the opponent, I'd say. Side of that, not being able to keep the Spell Pierce open, super sketchy. We will be able to flip that. Even if we had Spell Pierce open, it's late enough in the game to where they play like a go for the throat, and then they're easily able to get around that too anyways. Although, like, cards that have Ward, like we have Ward 2 on the Horned Loch-Whale, so they would need like 6 mana total for a go for the throat on the whale if we had Spell Pierce open. Wow, Gix's Command. Oh man, and it was all too easy for Mono Black, huh? Ojer. I think you're a little late, buddy. I think you're late to the party. Well, Ojer number 2, of course, is what I mean by that. So I suppose, like, flipping this one could be good. Wait, flipping this one's better when we have nothing else to do, right? No, it's tapped. You have to tap it to flip it. What if we played the second one from our hand and they killed it immediately? I don't know, because even if we played the first one from our hand, the Menace was getting by anyways. Yeah. The Menace on the Flesh Gorger was getting by one way or the other. Since the Gix's Command gave it counters, they had the lethal on the board. Hey, good game, opponent. That was a tremendous uphill battle. Flesh Gorger being a huge creature for them that entire time. Oh, crap, guys. Crap. Are we going to get to gold? Probably not. I'm still going to try for it. Let's go. You never know. We might have some fast games. That's funny, though. Wait, yeah. How many victories did we need? I never know. I just kind of play, and then whatever happens, happens. Maybe it's 4 victories, actually. It might be. But 32 minutes in already, guys. Crap. You know what? I want to see do a thing before we end the video. Imodane. I almost said Imodane's Recruiter. Wow, we play with the Recruiter way more than actual Imodane. Woo! I like this hand. We go first, too. I'm actually going to try to guarantee a 2-mana card next turn. Up against Mono Red. Going first against Mono Red is huge, dude. Holy cow. Then the Restless Spire came around. Now I want to make sure, if I don't see mana, I want to make sure that I can get Ojer down on time. Yeah, I'm going to still go 2. And then maybe... Yeah. 2 for the turn makes more sense because we have 3 cards open now. And then Restless Spire next turn. Picnic Ruiner. As a 3/3. Luckily, it doesn't have haste, and the Abrade gets there, and I think it's going to be the Abrade over the Horned Loch-Whale next turn. If we have the open mana now. A Virtue. Okay. 2 open, or make sure Ojer comes down next turn. It's Ojer, right? Because we had the option there to go Stormcarved Coast, keep the Play with Fire open with the Horned Loch-Whale or the Virtue too, but I think guaranteeing the Pakpatiq. Cacophony Scamp, okay. Cacophony Scamp. That's scary. Ancestral Anger. Alright. Let's fizzle that out and keep the Virtue in hand. And try to cheat out the Virtue of Courage with the Ojer play. Yeah, we don't want them to draw a card there, so... This very much looks like the type of deck that would also have Lightning Strike. And if they do, then we end up ramping a little bit, which isn't terrible. Mana. Still have 3 open, 1 in hand. I think Ojer Pakpatiq might survive, guys. The 3rd Cacophony Scamp. They pass it on back, guys. That is huge for us, man. Holy cow. What do I want to do? Just keep it all open, probably? Probably keep it all open. Well, actually, yeah, no, keep it all open. It's totally fine. I'm actually gonna go for a swing too. I don't plan on blocking here. And though it could be dangerous, I feel like we had enough simple removal early on to slow down the opponent significantly there. Ancestral Anger. Well, this is going to be a little bit annoying for them. Fizzle that out. Frolicking Familiar we get to cast for free next turn. They do get to ping face here. Yeah, no extra card draw from those must be incredibly frustrating, right? At this point, I'm going to go ahead and take the two. Actually, never mind. Lagoon Breach. That's brutal, man. That's brutal stuff. A little bit better than the Virtue of Courage, too, because a 6/6 Ward 2 against this deck is just disgusting. Blocks the Kamano really well. Oh, buddy. When the deck does a thing, it does a thing. I actually like Blow Off Steam. Just to take care of the Cacophony Scamp, and then, yeah, I completely agree with that concede opponent. Like, sometimes I'm like, no, opponent, come back, let's play it out. But no, that was brutal. That was really, really brutal stuff, man. Try to get one more game in, huh? Oh, crap, I could have looked right there to see how many more wins. See, I'm just like, I just kind of go, like, I never really pay attention to it. Sometimes I like to, but like, yeah. There we go, right into the next game. Let's have a good fast one. Okay, we'll give it a shot, I suppose, because all of this is like early removal. Couple of free turns of getting Restless Spire down. Going first here was huge again, man. Just like in general, going first is pretty good for most builds in general, right? Recruitment Officer. Okay, Restless Spire. We have the Play with Fire open, as well as Spell Pierce, I suppose. I don't know if we'd want to do that necessarily. Okay. So with Thalia on the board, we'll need all three for a Lightning Strike. Yeah, I'll take out the Officer. It's 2 less damage for us, and we won't have the Play with Fire to actually take out the Thalia because we don't have the 1 extra for the tax anyways, so totally fine. Let's see what they end up doing. On the 4th mana for the Ojer Pakpatiq, hopefully that means they don't just immediately drop like a Brutal Cathar on it. But with all this extra burn, taking out Cathar should be easy. Okay, Frontliner and anything. They got some good old-fashioned soldiers here. Let's see if second Thalia comes down. Or maybe a counter spell. Oh, Sentinel. Bounce the Thalia back, get that counter. Nice. Break fizzles. And we get the Ojer Pakpatiq down. Yeah, this doesn't look like the type of deck that Spell Pierce is going to do too much against, unfortunately. Although, I'd say in a lot of scenarios, Spell Pierce doesn't miss very often. Right? There's usually something. Even like mono reds, like winning Lightning Strike, it could come down to that. It's because they ended up spamming out all their 1-drops on that turn too. They don't have the extra 2 to pay. Yeah, but no, Spell Pierce could totally be anything in this build. I'd say like any one of that you'd think would help the build or help versus your meta that you're seeing. I could totally see trading that out. And against soldiers, the only thing I can think of is some of the soldier builds do run counter spells. Some of them. I feel like that's very rare. Sky Strike Officer, bro. We gotta take care of that. They could get that Sentinel through. Because we don't plan on blocking. But if we do, then we ramp, so that would be pretty sketchy for the opponent. More land is not terrific, guys. We target Officer, they have the draw anyways. But we still want to do it, right? And do it now, I suppose, too. If we take out Sentinel, then we have the swing for the turn and the rebound takes care of the officer next turn, but then they get to go a little wide. You know what? I like that. Let's outrace these soldiers for the last game, huh? Let's do this, man. So they get the draw. Sentinel dies. We get the swing. Actually, if they were going to tap down anyways, they were going to get this swing anyways. So I guess I could have still targeted officer. But if I did, then they didn't have to tap down to draw. They could have kept the blocker instead. Right? Put the Spell Pierce back for now. Might be, well, Restless Spire for the turn for 2. Again, I don't know what the Spell Pierce is hitting in this deck anyway, so maybe powering up the land would have been much better there. If they have 5 open and they drop like simple removal, then the Spell Pierce misses regardless. A Brutal Cathar, obviously. We're out of burn. Without them getting a soldier down here, they go for the swing. They get a 1/1. What's their plan? You guys don't suppose they just like casually have an emergency Sunfall packed in here, right? That'd be like the best hit for Spell Pierce ever, if that's the case. It's gonna be a Brutal Cathar, actually. Luckily, we get that rebound anyways. The card is already exiled with rebound. So we're going to take out that Cathar right away. Oh, the officer was such a better pick last turn, wasn't it? Yeah, we gotta get the Ojer back because that's like our only hope. But now we don't have a swing with it because Summoning Sickness. Play with fire. Oh no, guys. Now that doesn't hit the Sky Strike officer. Oh man. Okay, so let's get the Scry. Let's get the Scry on this swing here, too. It looks like they're going to plan on chumping as well. Hitting the frontliner with the Play with Fire isn't great. Frolicking Familiar is probably decent, huh? Yeah, that's probably pretty good, I'd say. If they chump, then they don't have the 3 to draw off of the officer. And we have to remember they're tapping down if they do draw with officer. Okay. Play the Reef. We have Play with Fire and Spell Pierce available. Yeah, keeping cards back to play rather than just powering up lands, like, I don't know how much that's actually going to help us, especially when I was saying, like, I want to outpace the soldiers here. So 2 mana for Play with Fire. Worth it to take out Lethalia, right? But then hopefully we don't need that Spell Pierce this turn. Again, seems like the type of deck that it's going to miss in anyways. Passing it back. Let's see if they tap down for the turn. About to get rebound on that Play with Fire too, so. This is fun, dude. I always have a good time with Izzet Burn, but Pakpatiq seems like a really just neat card in general. Like a really cool card design. Play with Fire. Probably opponent's face this time. Get that Scry. Nah. Let's take care of the frontliner. If they bring back frontliner, and well, first of all, if they tap out here, that's huge for us. Like swing for 8 for the turn could be wild, man. They tap it all down, draw a card. Frontliner's kind of sort of gone. Always bring it back. Oh yeah, we knew what we were drawing. Frolicking Familiar. I already knew that. That's funny. Let's go for maybe Frolicking Familiar too. Right? Instead of just like power up, swing for 8. Yeah, I suppose. We'll swing for 6. A lot of like little weird, I don't want to call it like balancing, but it's kind of like, oh, they got something. Seed of the Empire. Oh, that'll do it, dude. Gets around the Spell Pierce. Crap. Yeah, we don't want the mountain. At this point, I'm just going to play the Frolicking Familiar as a creature for the turn. Well, if I... crap. Before the death, if I went Frolicking Familiar, poke that little guy for 1, then we would have gotten the Frolicking Familiar for free next turn. Oh, crap, dude. Ah, man, I'm not optimizing these plays at all. A lot of, like, little timing things going on in this match in particular that I'm messing with. Oops-a-daisies. Yeah, I want to get that down as a creature. Because anytime they end up swinging in and they swing past our creatures, I want to have like a threatening board presence. Was the original concept there. But before this died, I should have just poked their 1/1 and then got the familiar for free next turn. Unfortunately, we kind of have a dead card in hand. The Restless Spires are horrific here, and maybe, well, it'll actually be a long enough game to flip the Ojer Pakpatiq back too. Valiant Veteran. They could totally bring back Frontliner if they want to maximize this swing. Harbin, holy cow, dude, we're in trouble. Holy cow, we need some burn off the top, man. We got a ton of burn in here, so we'll see. They get another 1/1. Oh, guys, if I would have optimized this, I wonder if we would have been in favor here. I'm going to take it for now. Quick study, huh? I don't mind seeing that. We're going to draw on our turn because there's a good chance of seeing something. If we see burn, then we wait for the blocks next turn. Frolicking Familiar. Interesting. So if we go 1 damage just doesn't get us there. But the Familiar would go up to a 3/3. But they have 5 soldiers, so the Harbin's going to buff this board state and get it into the air, too. So unfortunately, guys, we just gotta play it all out. That's super unfortunate, right? Everything's going in the air anyways. I think soldiers got there. And they can still get another draw too. So the officer early on, the officer had to go, dude. What was I doing? What was I doing? Get that Frolicking Familiar down. Yeah, that was a couple extra card draw. It really, really went the extra mile. What ends up happening here, of course, is the full swing next turn. Everything gets a buff. Everything goes in the air. We chump what we can, and then it's over. Plus, they get to bring back the Frontliner anyway. So even if we found removal for one of these, of course, it probably would have been Harbin, right? Then they still had a terrific swing this turn, since Frontliner was the pick for the removal. Oh, a ton of decisions that led to this loss, guys. I apologize for this one. What a mess, dude. If I could go back and replay it, maybe we could have had a little bit of a different outcome. 7. So if we chump the big guys, then we'd still be taking a ton of damage. So let's just double block that Harbin. Drop the GGs. Very, very silly. It's too bad that this wasn't a different kind of removal. I don't know what it would have been that the Spell Pierce could have hit, but still. Check that out, guys. They had the Fortified Beachhead too. Soldiers still looking pretty spicy. However, I think we could have leaned that in our favor had I played it well. So yeah, again, I apologize for that. That was a silly one. Big things in that match, of course, taking out the officer earlier and instead of the Sentinel, since they were probably going to tap down anyways. The reason I took out Sentinel was to get the swing on the Ojer Pakpatiq. They tapped out anyway, so it didn't end up mattering. So it should have been Officer, which drew them 2 to 3 cards throughout that game too. Maybe even more. Oh, buddy. And then after that, there was still a few things that we could have optimized a little better, but I think that's the point where we would have started to pull ahead as well. So check it out, guys. We got an Ixalan pack. Let's see what we get here. Ooh, the Awakening. I love it. I think that's my 4th one, actually. That's good. A great Reanimator build-around card. Really fun one. Oh, I thought it would pop up here. I could see how many I have. Oh, it's because Aha, it is my fourth one. Nice. Here's the deck list again, guys. Yeah, pretty janky. I like it, though. It's pretty fun. Actually, the last game not only showcased, like, how difficult burn decks can be, but how, like, I specifically need more practice for mid-range style of builds, too. So a little bit more practice, and maybe I could have delivered some better matches there, too. So, again, I apologize for that. But, yeah, no. Pretty fun. I like it. Imodane, the Pyrohammer. Come on, bro. Where were you today? We needed you on the table in a couple of those, huh? The meta is still as brutal as you would expect, right? Like that mono blacklist, no matter what they would have saw there, outside of their menacing Flesh Gorger, like, you know, it still would have been a really tough uphill battle. And they didn't even see their Shieldred that game either. If it was like Shieldred over Flesh Gorger, then yeah, Rending Flame would have had a great target. But then, same concept, if it was Shieldred over Flesh Gorger and they just played their second Shieldred anyways, like we don't have too much burn in here that actually deals successfully with that. There's a lot of like things in burn that line up that you have to think about. Like, for example, if we use our 3 damage on this creature now, and we see a card that only does 2 damage off the top, like what creatures are the opponents going to play? Like what are we seeing in the meta that's going to need that 3 damage? So do I just wait? Do I hold back, take a little bit of damage, see if like the burn spells line up a little bit better? Or like, so like there's like, you guys know what I mean? There's things like that that you got to think about. So I think overall, when we dropped burn to the opponent's face, it was probably greedy. As I was saying early on, like, hey, burn's our main win condition. If we're not taking out creatures, we might as well be hitting the opponent's face. And unfortunately, like, you know, it's probably not the best thing. And having a little bit more patience, holding your burn back just a couple extra turns to try to get some setup, probably the best path to victory. Cards like Frolicking Familiar, it's such a neat card, but it was pretty janky today. And the 1 damage didn't do nearly as much as I was hoping either. And it's not like cheating out Frolicking Familiar with the Ojer at Pakpatiq is that impressive anyway. Not nearly as impressive as cheating out a Virtue of Courage or a Horned Loch-Whale, right? Horned Loch-Whale's removal is so good. As a matter of fact, very important. This is one of those ways to get rid of Shieldred as well if they do end up swinging with it. So, like, cheating this down as a 6/6 ward too is just kind of ridiculous, man. That's really, really powerful. Some things to note. Do we want 4 Ojer Pakpatiqs? Probably not. Probably not, right? Even though it's legendary, even though this is what the deck is built around, realistically, we just need more ways to sustain ourselves overall. So I like the Frolicking Familiar, but I would probably drop down to like 2 of these and just go up more burn. Just more burn in general, dude. Just any burn. Maybe even the Stoke the Flames that I talked about. Like I said, the 4 damage does a lot. Even though we don't have a lot of creatures, there's still going to be moments where you don't want to swing with the Ojer Pakpatiq. Maybe the opponent has that looming Wandering Emperor in hand. They got that 4 open or whatever. So at that point, just using a Stoke the Flames and using that Ojer for the Convoke cost and then still keeping another burn spell open sounds really good, right? So that could be cool. I'd keep the 4 Virtues. I'd keep the 4 Horned Loch-Whales. I'd keep the 4 Ojers. The array of burn elsewhere, Play with Fire, Abrades, Lightning Strikes, Rending Flame, I do like all that too. So yeah, the big things is drop a couple Frolicking Familiars probably, and maybe trade out that Spell Pierce too. But it depends what you're seeing in the meta, man. So you got 3 cards open. What would you add or take out? Definitely let me know in the comments. Mana base was fine. It was like I said, you do want those dual lands often in here. And as you guys saw in those matches, even the tap dual lands didn't really hold us up too much because we had a lot of options available all the time. So, okay, guys. Hey, if you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see y'all in the next video.